Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari will on Friday this week present the 19.76 trillion naira 2023 budget to the National Assembly in Abuja. The presentation will take place at 10 a.m. at the temporary chamber of House of Representatives. The Director General Budget Office of the Federation, Mr. Ben Akabueze, had in September explained that the 2023 budget was prepared in tandem with extant federal government policies and guidelines as articulated in the 2023 budget call circular and other relevant laws and regulations. The federal government may seem to have broken the ranks of the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU after it registered two unions in the university system. Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, who explained that the two bodies, the National Association of Medical and Dental Academics, NAMDA, and the Congress of Nigerian University Academics, CONUA, will exist alongside the ASUU. He also stated that the two associations will enjoy the rights and privileges accorded to other academic unions in the tertiary education system. The ASUU has been on strike since the 14th of February as lecturers of public universities protest unpaid allowances and demand better welfare package from the federal government. Meanwhile, the ASUU has reacted to the recent registration of two new trade unions by the government for academic staff in the university system, saying it does not pose any threat to its existence. Its national president, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, described the move as inconsequential, as his union cannot be threatened with the development. He further claimed that ASUU members are not saboteurs or bootlickers, adding that his members know their vision and mission. President Muhammadu Buhari had been quoted as saying the competition for funds had become keener because of the recent increase in the number of tertiary institutions in the country. The president, represented at the recent ceremony by the Minister of State for Education, Emeka Nwajuba, was said to have made the admission over the weekend at the 49th convocation ceremony of the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, where he affirmed that the financial situation had been worsened by the global economic downturn, which also affected the national revenue. And we'll take a look at other stories making the rounds. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, says it is aware the ongoing outbreak of Ebola virus disease caused by the Sudan strain of the Ebola virus in Uganda. The DG of the NCDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adesifa, in a Tuesday statement, said that Uganda had on September 20 declared the outbreak of the virus and that it was on alert mode. The Sudan strain of the Ebola virus is the known cause of EVD, having caused previous outbreaks in Uganda, South Sudan, and Democratic Republic of Congo. As of September 29, the Ugandan Ministry of Health had reported 54 cases, with 35 confirmed and 19 probable. Also, 25 deaths, 7 confirmed and 18 probable. Away from that, we look at Lagos State, where the governor, Sanwo-Olu, has announced a salary increase for civil servants in the state. Speaking yesterday while on tour of the Alausa Secretariat, the governor said the proposed salary increase is as a result of the present harsh economy of the country, which has made life unbearable for citizens.
But the additional request now is for us to have a bit more for the staff housing stock. Abi? Yes, sir. Is to have a bit more for the staff housing stock, where under the Office of Head of Service we can indeed have our public servants, our civil servants, residents in some of these things. So I don't know the percentage because I need to go and work it, but take it for granted that that is also done.
State House correspondent Godfrey Gabriel reports that while responding to the request presented by the head of civil service, Mr. Hakim Muriokola, the governor had also given assurance that a fleet of cars will soon be rolled out for directors in public service, a benefit they have been denied for about 7 years, according to the governor. The Police Service Commission has announced the dismissal of 7 senior police officers over alleged gross misconduct. The Commission also approved the demotion of 10 other officers. The decisions were taken during the continuation of the 15th plenary meeting of the Commission, which is expected to end Thursday, the 6th of October. Spokesman of the Commission, Ikechukwu Ani, said the dismissed officers include a CSP, 1 SP and 5 ASPs, whilst adding that 1 SP was also retired in public interest. And in its continuous efforts to curb crime and protect lives and properties, the Nigerian Police Force has urged members of the public, particularly vehicle owners and road users, to avoid untimely death by obeying road traffic signs. The Force Public Relations Officer, PRO CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, in a broadcast made available to newsmen, had noted that mortality-related traffic offences are higher compared to violent cases, noting as well that recklessness and lawlessness on the highways are on the increase. CSP Adejobi had noted that road traffic laws may vary from state to state, while adding the motorists need to be conversant with each road signs. And still looking at stories on the local scene, for the 4th time this year, the U.S. Attorney's Office for Central District of California, Los Angeles, has postponed the sentencing date for alleged internet fraudster Ramon Abbas, better known as Hush Puppy. Responding to an email inquiry, an official of the court, Ciaran McEvoy, explained that his hearing is scheduled for November 3rd at 10 a.m. Los Angeles time and 6 p.m. Lagos time. Since his conviction last year for alleged $1.1 million fraud, the court has moved his sentence date at least 4 times, at first for February 14, then to July 11, and then to September 21, before being postponed now to November 3rd. The 39-year-old Nigerian had entered a plea bargain and pleaded guilty to charges including money laundering and wire fraud, amongst others brought against him by the court. The federal government has ordered the prosecution to a logical conclusion of one Benjamin Joseph, an accuser of the Zynox chairman Leo Stan Eke, for malicious falsehood over an alleged 170 million naira fraud. The order was via a letter from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, and communicated to the courts by the IGP on the 26th of September this year. According to a statement by Matthew Booker, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Joseph, who has a previous court judgment of 20 million naira as damages by an FCT High Court, Abuja, for giving the federal government false information, is facing another criminal charge for false petitioning before Honorable Justice Peter Kekemeke of the High Court of the FCT Abuja. According to Booker, SAN, this clarification is necessary in informing the public to disregard the various sponsored media reports being circulated online and on social media by Joseph against the Zynox chairman. And the winner of reality show Big Brother Naija Level Up Season 7, Fina, has received the grand prize of 50 million naira cash, a brand new SUV, and other prizes of 100 million naira. The prize presentation event, which held yesterday in Lagos, had the 28 housemates of the show in attendance. An excited Fina expressed joy at emerging winner of the annual reality show and attributed the victory to presenting her real self throughout her stay in the house.
I was so excited. Besides, I didn't see it coming, and it happened. I was literally doing me in the house. I brought myself to the house. I was just doing me. I didn't mind the critics I would get. I didn't mind people who say she's local, she's vast. I just did me, and I never knew it would pay off something big.
That was Fina, winner of the reality show Big Brother Naija Level Up Season 7. Also speaking at the event, a representative of MultiChoice, the organizers of the show, Tokwe Oshunkeye, says this show was planned to create a new level of excitement and entertainment.
think it's been a great season. I think we've had, 28 housemates, some riders, some fake housemates. But the thing is that, all of that was planned to actually make an exciting season, different from everything else that you've ever seen. And, and that's why it was called the level of, experience, just matching people that had, that formed bonds in different levels and bringing them together at some point, to kind of interact. And we saw that those dynamics really play out in terms of how they accepted and how everyone was looking out for their levels, but at the end of the day, it's still one big Brother Naija, and I think.
And now take a look at stories coming from outside of the country. A delegation from the West African regional body ECOWAS has arrived in Burkina Faso and due to meet the country's new military leader, Ibrahim Traoré. As a time of press, he seized power on Friday in the country's second coup this year, which was triggered by rising insecurity with multiple attacks by Islamist militants. The man he ousted as leader is now in Togo. The ECOWAS delegation is likely to urge the new leader to stick to earlier proposals to hold elections by mid-2024. Elsewhere, the UN General Assembly has scheduled an emergency session starting Monday, October 10, to discuss the Russian annexation of 4 eastern regions in Ukraine. According to a letter sent by the largest UN body to the 194 member states on Tuesday, there will be a vote on a resolution condemning Moscow's actions during the deliberations. It was unclear whether the vote will take place on Monday or not, considering the potentially high number of speakers. Russia vetoed a similar draft resolution on Friday in the UN Security Council, the most powerful UN body containing 15 members. China, India, Brazil, and Gabon had abstained. A strong majority was expected to decide in favor of the condemnation in the UN General Assembly vote. However, the resolution will be judged against 2 previous outcomes. Also, Twitter shares have been suspended following a report that Elon Musk will proceed with a takeover of the social media platform. Musk is set to buy Twitter at the original price he offered months ago before he walked away from a deal. According to Bloomberg News, shares in Twitter were up almost 13% before trading was halted. Musk was due to face Twitter in court later this month after he tried to pull out of the takeover. And that story takes us to business, where the stock market of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, the NGX, maintained its position's momentum in the first 9 months of 2022, gaining 4.15 trillion naira to outshine global markets, which have witnessed severe volatility. The market capitalization of the NGX had opened in 2022 at 22.297 trillion naira, gaining 4.15 trillion naira or 18.63%, to close at 26.451 trillion naira as of September 30, 2022. Also, the NGX All-Share Index appreciated by 14.8% year-to-date to 49,024.16 basis points from 42,716.44 basis points. The stock market opened in 2022 for trading. For the global stock markets, the Nasdaq Composite Index has depreciated by 20.95%. YTD, while the United Kingdom FTSE 100 London Stock Exchange has depreciated by minus 6.44% YTD performance. Lastly, sports. 4 more players have joined the Super Falcons team camp ahead of the international friendly against Japan. The quartet of Ashley Plumter, Ifeoma Onumonu, Michelle Alozie and Chiamaka Nadozie arrived Kobe on Tuesday. The arrival of the 4 players was confirmed on the Super Falcons Twitter handle. The latest arrivals means there are 12 players currently in camp as at last time. The international friendly with Japan is billed for Thursday, 6th October this week. Spain and Portugal will announce on Wednesday that Ukraine will be joining the joint bid to host the 2030 World Cup. The announcement will be made in a press conference this afternoon. The plan is for Ukraine to host one World Cup group in the tournament. The decision as to who will host the tournament in 8 years from now will be decided at a FIFA Congress in 2024, where the 211 member associations will vote on which group is best. And lastly, UEFA Champions League action continued last night as Liverpool cruised to a confidence-building 2-0 victory over Rangers at Anfield. Other results saw Bayern Munich thump Victoria Pleasant 5-0, Ajax lost 6-1 to Napoli, Lisbon 4-1, while FC Porto saw off Bayern Leverkusen 2-0. Tonight's action sees FC Red Bull Salzburg play Dynamo Zagreb, Chelsea will host AC Milan, RB Leipzig face Celtic, Real Madrid tackles Shakhtar Donetsk. There's also Manchester City against FC Copenhagen, Sevilla play Borussia Dortmund, Benfica tackle PSG, while Juventus will battle Maccabi Haifa.
Lagos Talks
91.3.